are George Clooney, and you've been in so many iconic movies and TV shows, and we just would love to share fun facts. If there's a fly-on-the-wall moment, it's called Behind the Scenes. The Golden Girls.
Yeah. B. Arthur was the funniest person in the world. They were all hysterically funny, but B. Arthur really made me laugh. She was filthy, filthy funny.
Oh, my kind of girl.
Oh, filthy, but great. They could get away with stuff that if those women were 30, they could never have said on network television, you know? But they could do anything they wanted, and they'd get away with it. It was so much fun that was a fun show to work on.
I mean, just...
You know? Betty White was a godsend, you know?
Out of Sight.
First really good movie.
First really good movie you felt you were a part of?
Yeah.
I just saw Danny DeVito.
You did?
Yeah. I left the list of people I had slept with because I was trying to count at his house.
Oh, that's not good. He'd go, what's this list? Which would be like, hey, what's his list? No, I got in trouble with him at a restaurant here in New York about 15 years ago. And we were having a couple of drinks. Both of us were promoting a different film. We had a couple of glasses of wine, and then the guy comes out and goes, you want some limoncello? And I'm like, no. And Danny's like, yeah. And he goes, what are you doing tomorrow? And I go, I'm doing Regis and Kelly. And I go, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm doing The View. And he says, all right, you got to say my name, and I got to say your name. And I was like, okay. So out comes this limoncello, and I'm just dumping it in the plant, you know, like this. And Danny's like,
yeah,
so the next morning I go do Regis and Kelly, and I go, last night was with Danny DeVito, you know, and then I come home and I turn on the TV, and The View is on, and Danny comes, they go, ladies and gentlemen, Danny DeVito, and he comes walking out in the same clothes he was wearing the night before. And you can Google it, because it's very true. He comes out drunk as you could be. Sits on like Rosie O'Donnell's lap and is like telling a story and like, and they're like, you're crocked. And he goes, I'm crocked. I was out last night with George Clooney. And I get the blame. Yeah.
Oh my God, ER.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there they are. I guess it was the friendship I have with all of them that I continue to have. I had Tony Edwards at the house in Italy 3 weeks ago, and he and Mare came. I'm still really close with Juliana and Noah and Eric. They're really good friends, and so I feel that was a job of a lifetime, you know. And it changed my career, you know.
It did. Mm-hmm. That makes people so happy to know, because we all want to believe that, you know, and then when you find out it's true, you're like, oh, I thought so. This is so fun. Okay, I have to throw this out there because I still see the wave in my head kind of on a very too regular basis, the perfect storm. It's part of why I'm still scared of boats, you know?
Are you really scared of boats?
Well, not like near land.
Okay. But out in the water, you're scared?
That deep, open water. I mean, what? Yeah. That movie, like, screwed me up.
I remember we were standing on the dock. I was standing up on the boat, on the dock.
And you're with Dirk Diggler.
Yes, yeah. Mark and I were standing up there, and we had all of these giant rubber swordfish, because Wolfgang Peterson, he's a big animal rights guy, you know, and so there's all these rubber swordfish at great expense they'd made.
He was like, we'll do the fake fish.
And all these protesters, like a couple hundred of them, come storming down on the dock going, you know, shame on you, shame on you. And Mark and I were sitting up on the dock, and I just go, they're rubber. And then everyone's like, huh? I go, they're rubber, the fish. They're like, oh. And then they turn around.
Okay, The Descendants.
Shailene, probably. I actually just saw her this summer in Italy, too. She's a real amazing young woman, and working with Alexander Payne, who I just love as a director, and he's a friend. So there was nothing but great memories of that.
Well, speaking of, I mean, Good Night and Good Luck is one of the most beautiful, important, poetic, extraordinary, outside of the box. Yeah. Nobody was doing anything like that. That is a masterpiece. How did you come up with the concept to approach it that way?
I was upset with the lack of journalists, the Fourth Estate, not questioning the lead up to the Iraq War. And I felt like the other three estates had sort of given up, you know, and so we were on our way there, and no one was asking questions. And when when the executive branch and the judicial branch and the legislative branch don't stand up, the Fourth Estate, the press has to, and they didn't. And so I just started looking back at times trying to find a moment when those same branches were failing and the Fourth Estate stood up, and that was when Murrow took on McCarthy. And so I wrote it about that. It was a lot of great books that were already written about it because they were all journalists, so you could be pretty accurate about it. It was a fight I wanted to pick, and it was something, you know, I'm immensely proud of, but it was a really fun thing to do, too.
What was the conversation also when you said, I want to make this the most beautiful film ever in black and white?
Yeah, they didn't want that.
Of course.
Well, you know, black and white's a hard thing to get people to do, but, you know, we only know those characters in black and white. And we were going to use, it's funny, we used actual footage of McCarthy, you know, Joe McCarthy in the film. It's all just him. And then when we tested it, everyone says, you know, what do you like the actors? Do you like the actors? And they go, the guy playing McCarthy was terrible. And
right.
I was like, yeah, it was McCarthy.
That's the kind of tidbit that really will rock my world, is we only ever saw them in black and white. So I want to keep it, you know, not anachronistic and authentic to that moment. That's so intelligent.
Well, yeah, intelligent. It was cheaper.
Okay, the last thing I have to hit, it's very personal for me and Joe, Tootie, Natalie, Blair, Mrs. Garrett. I mean, that really was when we first fell in love with you before ER. Like, that was the most formative show for me growing up. That was like,
really?
Yes. Facts of Life was everything to me. I never missed an episode. I was obsessed, and when you came in, that was so much fun.
I came in late. It was like the 7th year.
Yeah, it was like Edna's Edibles, or like they had a store at that point. They were out of the dorm room, like they were all...
They were growing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
What was it like on the set of Facts of Life?
It was amazing. Listen, it really was fun. I mean, they really are. They're really wonderful, young at the time ladies. And we were sort of that switchover.
Look at this.
I was there for 1 year with Mrs. Garrett, and then the next year with Cloris Leachman taking over.
That's right.
And Cloris was crazy fun.
I heard she is kind of like the B. Arthur with the wicked sense of humor.
Crazy. Like, she would, like, lift up her dress and she's like, look, George. And I'll be like, okay. But I mean, just out of jokes.
Look at that.
Look at those hair. Now, that's 2 mullets.
By the way, I was going to say... I mean...
We have the same hair.
Exactly what I said when I saw the picture. I was like, oh my God, they both went to Supercut.
Well, there was a Supercut. There was a sale.
And look at this. A Mackenzie Aston.
Look at Mackenzie. Yeah. They were all great. They were still great. They were really nice young women. Nancy and I stayed pretty close over the years and stuff.
You have these 2 beautiful children, Alexander and Emma. You have this beautiful career. You have this very, very meaningful, just so needed, beautiful film coming out, Ticket to Paradise. You're an activist. You have great friends. You've lived an extraordinary life. You sold a tequila company for $1 billion.
I have very good hair.
I was a 2-time sexiest man alive.
Yes!
I mean, what more can I do? I mean, I can't work any harder.
That's my question. What is the missing link? Is there one thing?
Yes. AARP, sexiest man still alive.
On the cover of AARP, and they were like, you have to be 50. I was like, well, I'm coming at you in 2 years.
Just like, wheel me out. Sexy.
Every dream you've ever had come true, there's no one more deserving of it than you, George Clooney. You are, that's why we love you.
Well, congratulations on your show. Congratulations on all your success.
I was so excited to have this conversation with you. I love our history. I love you as a human. You're as good as it gets. And thank you for gracing us with your presence today.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Your new movie, Ticket to Paradise.